Hello everybody and welcome back to Tekkit. So today is the big day of the removal of the reactor. So we have a drum of gelid cryothium that I'm going to need to refill with the cryothium that's now inside the reactor. So I've got a pump and some pipes. I hope this will work as I think it will. So the reactor has been bled right down. I can't bother to wait because it's still unbelievably efficient and effective at producing power, apparently. So, what? Anyway, I'm confused. So what I need to do is very carefully, oh dear, break the reactor, get a piece of copper or something for a second. Put down a pump, take from that pump to the barrel, and then bring in some power. So there's the power cable. I thought it was nearby. So it's temporary power cable. Bingo. And there we should start to see the cryothium pumping through. So that is going to empty the reactor and not waste all of the cryothium. As we can see, it's starting to disappear already. Excellent. So while it's doing that, what we need to do is, in the big reactors mod, we need to build something preprocessor. There it is. So how much of this can I build? All but one piece. So I need a yellurium fuel rod, and that should give me the reprocessor. Okay. So I've never used one of these before, so I'm not 100% sure what it's going to do, but I'm guessing I'm going to want to put it somewhere with power. Yep. So what does that need? So let's take some cyanite and put it in here. See what it does. Nothing. Okay. So does it need some water? Is that what I'm missing? Oh, my buckets were in there. I've got a bucket of water. Yeah, so it needs water. Okay. So do we have a better place to put it so we can access water? Nothing up here. I don't think there's any water anymore. Oh, there is. So we will take the hint and we'll pick this up and massively drill a hole in the floor apparently. I wanted to try and avoid drilling a hole in the floor to put the water in it, but apparently that's what I'm going to be doing. That's the wrong block. Okay. So laughing myself into a cough. I could put an aqueous accumulator in the squid tank, get some water from there. That seems a little bit harsh, but it also seems like a really good idea. So let's see if we've got an aqueous accumulator. We do. We're also going to want some fluid ducts. I suppose we could have just used the fluid pipes. So because this doesn't require power, we'll be able to do this nice and easily. So if we put the reprocessor down on top of here, that'll give it the power it needs. And then if we put the fluid duct on the top, that should give it the water that it needs. If we turn one of these to the right color, blue for water, that makes sense. That's going to make us some plutonium. And now the plutonium is an important component of the turbine something or other. So we need to make quite a lot of turbine bits and bobs because we're going to keep the same reactor size. I'm just going to move it forward. So I'm going to put the reactor right up against this edge here, so that we have all the space behind it then for the turbine. So this is probably already, yeah, it's not active anymore. So we can try and be proactive because it's going to be quite a big build. And it's also going to require a little bit of trial and error because I'm not exactly confident in how to build it. So we've still got a little bit of cryothium in the middle so far. Check our drum has got space for it. Yep, the drum is still picking up a little bit at a time. Okay. So let's make some turbine components. So we need a lot of turbine casings. So turbine, steam turbine. Oh, hello. Turbine housing. So this requires cyanite, nether quartz, and iron. Turbine controller is plutonium. We need the turbine. Rotor shaft is cyanite, and blades are cyanite. Oh, so I only need a little bit of plutonium. That seems a bit irritating and annoying. Anyway, so let's make some of this. So we've got graphite. Let's see how many of these we get. So 44. So we run out of graphite. So what is graphite? Is made from cooking graphite dust, which is apparently yellorium. What? That's not right. How do you make graphite dust? Oh, by being stupid. So what have I got to do to get graphite? No, not how do I make coal. So you just cook a piece of coal. Okay, well we can do that. These furnaces are currently not doing anything. So that'll make us some graphite bars. So we can get at least a stack of turbine parts. What? Why aren't these being pulled into the network? The network's full. Oh wow. Yeah, it is. So my plan has... I totally forgot that I'd turned that off. And that's kind of backfired catastrophically. So now I've got the graphite bars in the system. So let's just dump these in here because they were all totally useless. And that also implies to me that this one's going to be chock-a-block with interesting ones. So that's got unbreaking 3, unbreaking 2, power 2, respiration 1, unbreaking 2, nothing, 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 and nothing. So we've got something. So that'll go back to sorting that all out, hopefully. We can put our potential go in here, and we'll just remove that for a second so we don't lose it. Forgot about that, but now we should be able to make a few more turbine housings. So we're probably going to need quite a lot. I want to use turbine glass as well because that's way cooler. So if we make a stack of turbine glass, how much glass have I got? Not very much, but it should be enough. Nope, not anywhere near enough. So we have quite a lot of sand that needs to go through a furnace. So is there any furnaces in here? No. So So let's just nip upstairs and put some in there, just because we can. We'll also take 5 stacks of cobble and put 1 in the pulverizer. Oops. And 4 up top, 5 up top, so that it will now make a load of glass for us in the future. This looks like it's finished. Excellent. Movement power glove apparently. Okay. So now we need to demolish this. Was there a piece inside that I could recover? No. So we will lose that a little bit of fuel, but it's not a big problem. Pull the reactor down. We don't have to worry about cooling the reactor anymore, because we are, I guess this is an actively cooled reactor. We're going to pump water through it to generate steam, to then be turned into power, converted back into water, put back in the reactor. So it should be quite self-sufficient after an initial sort of pump full, but we'll see. We might have to use a couple of aqueous accumulators, or maybe even our ME system, to keep it properly fueled up with all that we need. I have a lot of this, don't I? One thing I want to do is work out how big it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 by 7. Because we're building this reactor. This reactor is still just about sufficient to maintain the power that we're going to be using. But as soon as we get onto one of the big things that I want to build quite soon, and that is to keep me up to date on my moon base, I'm going to need a hell of a lot more power. Okay. So if we just put some reactor casing down to give us an indication. So I'm happy with where the side is. So it's going there. That's the wrong one. Oh, it lagged. Crazy. What was that all about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we've got the reactor taken apart now. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7. Okay, so that's our reactor sorted a little bit. It's going to be a pain in the arse to knock down, apparently. You get it back, so why can't I right click it with this? That's annoying. So if I go at big reactor, they get a special tool. Is there like a hammer or something I can use? Nope, that's not ideal. It's not going to break this glass on camera because it'll take forever. So it's just off by 1, which is okay. I'll live with that. Okay. So we could go all out aesthetics, but I don't think I want to. Oops. So I could have glass on multiple sides rather than just the front, but I think I'm going to leave it on just the front. As you can hear, I'm apparently losing my voice, so give me a second. See if that sorts it out. Okay, so we want to also change the way in which we have the fuel rods set up just a little bit. So rather than having just one fuel rod at the center, because it's going to be actively cooled, we should be able to have one fuel rod at the center and then a few more fuel rods around the side. I'm just trying to do the maths in my head. I can't remember how tall the building was. It should still give us a 1 by 1 by 1. I made a few too many. Not the end of the world. So these aren't going to be running at full power until much later on. Oh, what did we run out of this time? Because I will balance it based on how much the turbine can handle and so on and so forth. Okay. Again with the wrong one. Really need to take that off my hotbar. So now I'm going to have to build more reactor casing because I used some. We also have, oh, I guess it might balance out because I need to also make a few new blocks as well. Okay. So we've got the reactor set up in its basic form. Let's just put the controller down and the inputs and outputs. We're going to move them eventually because I'm going to want to automate them using the ME network. I don't really want them at the front and the middle. Probably put them in the top corners or maybe even around the side, just somewhere near that piping that goes across the top there to give, might put them on the back here maybe, give me the ability to put in and take out the yellorium and the cyanide as much as we need to. So that was how much I had, and then I put the glass on top. So I'll keep the same design as such. I just need to break the rest later on. So on top we can fill in the gaps and that'll tell me how many of our reactor casing we're short. Okay. So what I need to do then is take this glass down, build the remaining reactor casing to give myself the reactor, and then we need to finish looking at the turbine and the turbine layout. So I only managed to build a couple of turbine housing and some turbine glass, but I need a turbine controller, turbine power ports, turbine fluid ports, and then all the rotors along with the rotor bearing and maybe a computer port if I get complicated and interesting enough. Okay, so I think I want to call an end to this episode. So part one of the turbine reactor craziness has come to a close. We've moved the reactor forward in preparation for using the space behind it for the turbine. So between this episode and the next, all I'm going to do is take down the glass, put the glass in the front, build the remaining casing for the back, and then I'll bring you back in then. So I'm going to cut the episode here. Hope you enjoyed, I hope you continue to enjoy, and in the next episode we're going to get a turbine spinning. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed, so bye for now.